Last week, I was lucky enough to score a couple of beautiful Atari MSTEs for a very fair price from Kijiji. After picking them up, I realized one of them even had a graphic card attached on the VME bus, and I couldn't be happier. However, those machines have been in storage for over 15 years, so before turning them on for the first time, I wanted to take them apart for inspection and cleaning. The journey begins with a complete teardown. First, we need to unscrew the unique flat type screw holding the hard drive bay. The whole unit then slides out and can easily be unplugged. The 10 Phillips screws can then be unscrewed to release the top cover, while being careful to detach the floppy ribbon and supply. I'm also detaching the power LED for cleaning, as we'll see later. The real-time clock lithium battery is obviously dead and will need to be replaced. The power supply is only held by those 2 Phillips screws. We then need to carefully remove the reset button cap as the motherboard is tightly fitted in the bottom case. Both units were in decent condition, but any restoration projects requires an in-depth cleaning, which is one of the most satisfying parts. After noting all the jumpers' positions, I started by vacuuming all parts. If you're doing this, I would definitely recommend being more careful than I am and grounding yourself as well as the board to avoid any static damage. The hard drive is a SCSI Seagate ST157N with a 49 meg capacity at 3600 RPM, which was optional and was probably worth a pretty penny back then. Next, I am cleaning the non-high-density double-side 720 KB Epson SMD380 floppy drive. Pretty standard on those machines. Just to be on the safe side, I've dismantled it to dust it off and clean the read-write heads with some alcohol. Next up are the dusty power supplies. Same treatment: vacuum, dust, and brush. If you don't know what you're doing, have a professional service do this for you. It's now time for some retro brighting to get rid of the classic yellow tint on the plastic and keys. After a soapy water cleaning to remove grease and other gunk and marks, I'm using the 8-bit guys technique with some salon care cream, as it's easy to procure and very effective. Yellowing is caused by long UV exposure effect on the flame retardant in most plastics from the era. After applying the cream on all pieces and wrapping them to avoid evaporation, the same UVs from direct sunlight is reacting with the hydrogen peroxide contained in the cream to revert the yellowing effect. No disappointment here. After a few hours in the sun and some thorough rinsing, all the plastic is now close to its original gray color. After putting everything back together, it was then time to turn the machines on. Unfortunately, there were a few issues, and I will cover how to fix this in separate videos. First, both keyboards had a common issue. One of the traces on the membrane contact layer was cut, disabling a key. Then, one of the machines did not power up due to a faulty component in the power supply. Finally, I had some trouble with the VME card not displaying the green desktop properly until I realized I had to put those 2 modified files in the auto folder so they could be loaded before the desktop generation. Now, with 2 fully restored and functional STEs, I will be able to keep one for retro gaming and use the other one for MIDI music purposes. There's nothing like a good old Cubase to unleash your musical creativity. Hope you enjoyed, and see you for the next project!